got an older G-Wagen and you want more power, talk to me. We're going to talk about the OM606 swap on this truck. I'm Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto Care. If you're interested in something like this, you're going to want to follow along. Cold starts are very important. Let's see how this does. That's tough to beat. This truck's cold. It's been sitting in the shop for a couple days. Let's take it out and see what it's all about. By the way, before we get into this video, the owner of this truck just told me that for the right price, this truck can go into your garage. Well, it's summertime. Nothing is as cool as a short wheelbase cabriolet that's a diesel. This truck is a 91, was a G350 turbo diesel with a 603, and it wasn't happy. So here we have an upgraded 606 in this truck, and it is so much better. It came to us not running. Now we've got about 350 horsepower. We've got the upgraded pump. We've got the upgraded turbo. It's an automatic. We actually did G500 brakes on this truck, so it stops. That's really important. And it also has a suspension upgrade. It's probably a little bit hard to hear me right now because we literally just have the bikini top on it, and if you look closely, you can see through it. And we have no back, so this is definitely a fair weather truck. It actually does come with a hard top too, but it's really cool on a day like today where it's only 75 degrees out. It's a fun truck to drive. The exhaust on this is particularly loud, as you'll see in the drive-by videos. It basically is a stainless steel 3-inch setup straight from the turbo to a flex pipe, and then we have a muffler and a resonator, and that's it. So you get all the glorious turbo noises, all the glorious exhaust noises, and it sounds proper, the way it should. We can also make a quiet version, but this one's so much fun. Fully encourage you to get into one of these. Driving one of these, now that we've had the power upgrade with the pump and the turbo, I don't have to floor it everywhere. I can tickle the throttle and it just cruises along. Doesn't do anything weird. I think I'm roughly at a third half throttle. And I have to let off for it to grab the next gear. It's just too easy. Some of the cool things about a truck like this, it's lightweight. It weighs about 1,000 pounds less than the comparable long wheelbase G500. And because it's a short wheelbase and it weighs less, you can usually run a bigger pump and a bigger turbo on motors like this because they spool up without giving you a whole bunch of black smoke. You can tune them to give you a whole bunch of black smoke. It's not really cool, but it works really nicely in this. If you've got a giant off-road truck or a truck that's a lot heavier, we generally run a smaller pump and a smaller turbocharger so that it will spool and give you proper boost and be able to actually use that fuel a little bit more efficiently as you're going down the road. So because this already has upgraded suspension, it's got iBox springs and Coney raids and bigger tires and all the other good stuff, we can just drive it wherever we want. It's perfect. The urban crawler. You can go over curbs, brush, other cars. No, don't do that. Makes all the right noises. Oh look, it's a Cybertruck. Seems accurate. All right, so on this particular truck, we're gonna take a peek under the hood. This is what a conversion looks like when the truck originally started out as a 603 truck, and we converted it to a 606. Ta-da! All the grand reveal. We're actually custom making our own engine tops because you can no longer get those from Mercedes and they just don't exist anymore. Even in the salvage yards, they're all snatched up. So little things like that we're gonna make, but this is a pretty darn clean swap. The cool thing about this, and I've stressed this before in my other videos, if you originally start with a 603 truck, the fully mechanical analog truck, it's not a bad thing. It just means that ultimately down the road, if that motor ever decides to go south on you, you can certainly upgrade pretty easily. You get to keep all your existing modifications, like your pump, your turbo, a lot of your architecture. And this motor, for lack of better words, bolts right in. The bottom end architecture is largely the same, meaning all the engine mounts and everything else bolts up. You don't have to play engineer or fabricator. That's what's really cool about this. You definitely get a big step up in reliability. You get more power, everything we want, right? Now, with that being said, the later model 603s are still very reliable. Basically, the later part numbers and so forth, we just don't see failures on those. But the early ones, the 91s, 92s, 93s, we do see some weird stuff on that. So that's why we do swaps like this on the older trucks. So this is an example of what it looks like. It does have a 7.7 millimeter pump. It's a pretty big pump. It does fuel nicely. It does have a whole set HE250 turbo. Some people say, why didn't you go with the bigger turbo or XYZ turbo? We chose this package because we know it works. We know it spools, especially at this elevation. We're at 5,500 foot elevation and the air density is a lot thinner here. So we need something that actually will move a little bit of air. So that's why we chose this package. It works well and that's why it's here. Now, coming on to this side, on the thought of the underside, the exhaust system is all stainless steel on all of our trucks, and we actually wrap everything for thermal management all the way down. And as you look under here, you can see our stainless steel handiwork. And this is why this truck sounds so awesome, because we have that, and then we have the flex pipe, we have a resonator, and we have a muffler, and then just an outlet. You don't need extra exhaust. If you want the noise, keep it short. It sounds awesome. Now, if you have a truck that you're gonna use on a daily basis and you're gonna daily drive it, you may want it a little bit quieter, no harm, no foul. We can route it out the factory exhaust location on the other side. We just have more mufflers and resonators. Not a problem. So, that's under the hood. Aside from that, the rest of this truck is pretty standard. We did upgrade the brakes on the front. This thing came with these little skinny, non-vented rotors, and it was an adventure just to slow down. But now that we're able to achieve triple-digit speeds if we wanted to, we need to be able to stop. So that was the impetus between going up to G500 brakes. So you get a larger vented rotor, bigger calipers, and parts are readily available. You can just call up your local parts store and say, hey, I need pads and rotors for a G500. No harm, no foul. It's all there. On the back end, we did have to carefully massage the drum brakes to make sure they're up to speed. We did not swap axles. We just did the front brake upgrade. So that's that. Now, inside, this is where it gets really cool, and I want to show you guys this. One of my favorite seats is the Scheelman seats. What we did on this is we got a set of the Scheelman seats, and we specified this, then this. Yes, it's very cool. But we got extra material so we can do the door cards also. So we have the same plaid on the door cards, and then the back seats, same goes back here. We actually have extra leather, same leather that's on the Scheelmans, we have on the factory seat. So this is actually the factory bench Mercedes seat that came with the truck back in the day, and we've replicated it to match the front seats. So that's one of the cool things about this build is everything ties together. It looks good, it feels good. Getting in the truck, it sits right, and we get these awesome armrests, because we all know how dismal the factory Mercedes armrests are, right? Anyway, enough of that. Aside from that, truck runs and drives great. We saw a little driving video of it. We saw what the drive-bys look like. It's a little dusty because we've had the top off cruising around. We also have seat heaters, just the basics. You don't need anything special in this truck. It's just a cool truck. Just wanted to show it to you guys. So if you want something like this, or if you've got an older truck and you're considering doing a 606 swap, this is where you need to get in touch with us. We can walk you through the ins and outs of it, what it looks like, pieces and parts, dollars and cents, and time frame wise, and be able to put together a package that works for you with your truck. I'm Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto Care here in Loveland, Colorado. Thank you.